Three, two, one, go. I always love the intro. Hey, welcome to the Coach Martin Show. I'm your host, Coach Martin, and we're going to be talking today about marriage. So we're going to go a little bit deep, but we're not going to go long. But it's interesting. So the month of August, even though we're coming to a wrap up, I've had a couple guys, and I won't mention names, obviously, that have come to me that have kind of having marriage issues. And it's interesting, and it's not just a couple guys. I know when you look at the percentages, it's over 50% of marriages, even Christian marriages, don't last, and that's a shame. And I'm one speaking through experience because I've been married multiple times, so I've had to learn a lot of hard lessons. But this show, we're going to talk about winning, how to win in marriage, and we're going to talk about this because it was interesting. Both people that I talked to, both guys that came up to me, the first thing they do is they're going to talk about what's going on, right? Or where they think the problem is. And it's always the other person. So like, man, my marriage would be so great if she wasn't a fill in the blank, or if she would do fill in the blank, right? Or if she didn't do fill in the blank. And that's the mindset. And the problem is if you have a mindset that you are never going to be victorious until A, B, or C happens, you'll never be a victor, ever. You're basically living in victimhood, and it's just never going to win. It's a bad model. So you got to change the model, right? The only thing you can change in life is yourself. So once you start looking at things differently and you start changing the things you need to change, which is typically us, that's when stuff changes. But until you get that right, nothing else is going to work. It's just never going to work, right? And in this particular situation, it's like, wow. My wife always does this. Here's the deal. When you dated her, you probably thought she was the best thing in the world, right? And I'm sure even at the beginning when you got married, but now all of a sudden you're focused on things. And one thing I've learned in business, whatever you focus on expands. So if you're focusing on fill in the blank, that thing's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You need to not do that. And that's why the Lord said you need to take every thought captive. So instead of focusing on that thought, take it, put it in jail, and don't think about it anymore. And focus on the things that that made you fall in love with her in the very first place. What are the great qualities? Because even if somebody wasn't even a good person, you could probably find a couple good things about that person, right? Or let's say if you knew someone that they weren't a good person, but I promise you, if you go talk to their mom, the mom's gonna be able to tell you some good things and good qualities about whoever you're talking about. So focus on those things first and foremost, right? Secondly, you have to figure out, what do you have to do to get better? Do you need to, start getting mentored by some, men that have been married for a long time? Maybe. Do you need to go to marriage class? Well, my wife won't go with me. Well, then go by yourself, right? But do the things that you need to do to get better. And here's one thing I've learned. If I'm arguing with my wife and I want God to fix my wife, but I'm not doing the things that God's told me to do, you think he's going to step in and correct my wife? No. Right, so you got to worry about that first and foremost. Do those things, right? Create the winning environment. What are the things I got to learn? What are the things I need to add? How can I be a better man? How can I be a better husband? What are the things that I need to learn how to do, right? And by doing that, what's going to happen is, one, you're going to change. Two, the things that you see is going to change. And three, your environment's going to change. And if you have a winning environment, now you're going to start seeing things that are going to change from your wife's point of view. And in my opinion, let's say if you don't, then that's when God will step in and do what he needs to do. But we have to look at it and we have to put ourselves in position to win. And I think if you want to be able to win as far as your marriage, if you want to have a winning marriage, you got to do these things. You got to start doing things that are going to put you in position to be successful. Stop playing the blame game. I don't care what it is she's doing or how she's acting, right? Your focus is on you. What do you have to do to be a godly man? What do you have to do to be a godly husband, right? What are the things that you need to learn? And here's the deal, right? Get mentorship. We're starting a marriage class, I know, coming up in a few weeks, and I'm looking forward to have an opportunity to be a blessing and pour into people and serve them and maybe share some great stuff and learn on my own as well from other people that probably are very successful in certain areas of marriage. So that should be a non-negotiable, right? Find people that you can learn from. Find people that are going to help you grow. If you're thinking of a bad thing about your spouse, take it captive, right? Throw it away and focus on things that are good, because there's a reason why you married her. There's a reason why you fell in love in the very first place. So hopefully that's some good stuff for you. Be sure to visit us on social. Be sure to share this. You probably got a couple friends that need to hear this, so definitely share this with them. Reach out, visit us on the website at www.coachmartinshow.com. And until next week, I am out.